Hello and welcome to GameRomp Easy Mode, an easygoing podcast where we hang out and talk about video games and we try to relax. So, I'm David and you are?
I guess I'm Deanna.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I guessed my own name correctly.
So, a couple of interesting things to talk about this week.
Mostly on your end. I
Well,
don't think I have a single thing.
Well, in the sense of like news, game news.
Even that I don't pay attention to.
We literally just watched the newest GTA trailer.
Yeah, and I only watched that because you showed it to me.
Yeah, and I saw it on Blue Sky. GTA is a funny thing. I don't know how, I don't think I can say I'm like excited for it.
I mean, I can't be excited for it, or neither of us can be excited for it. We can't play it.
I mean, and nobody can play it. It's not out yet. It's not going to be out until next year.
You know exactly what I mean. We can't afford to play it.
I mean, right now, no. By the end of the year, who knows? You never know. But even assuming we did have computers that could run it, it's definitely not the type of game that I would be super excited to rush out and get. Like, it's tough because part of me, I like the location because it's Vice City, right? So it's
Miami.
Yeah, it's Miami and South Florida. So it should also include like Alligator Alley, and maybe it'll even include Fort Lauderdale. I don't know. Probably not. But like that's
I actually don't know how far or close Fort Lauderdale is to Miami. Like, is it like the next town over or next city, whatever, or is it like? Because I know it's like Alligator Alley area, but
yeah.
For anyone who listens that doesn't know anything about Florida,
I don't. It's the next major city. I don't know the exact like towns and counties. Like Hialeah, is that a county or? I don't know. I just know that when I was driving to Fort Lauderdale, like the exits in that big old spaghetti bridge area was like, go here for Fort Lauderdale, go here for Miami, and I would have to go to Fort Lauderdale. But like I also been to Miami to the airport, which apparently the Miami International Airport's not rated very well either.
is there specific reasons for that, or?
I mean, are any airports good, to be honest with you?
I literally just read a post on Reddit praising TF Green for its bathrooms.
Oh, great.
No, but like apparently people that travel a lot fucking love the bathrooms that they have there.
Interesting.
Because they have like the European style stalls, so like the door goes from the ceiling to the floor.
Oh, wow. That's unusual for
like,
the US.
I have been in those bathrooms and they are fucking amazing. So
that's really, they should, why do we not do that everywhere here in this
I don't know,
country?
although
Cost, I guess.
I mean, fucking probably anything down here is like, why does America do it stupidly? Cost.
We want to be as cheap as possible.
But actually, there is a place in Boston. What was that big lunch place we went to that was like near Fenway or something?
Oh, I don't remember the name of it, yeah, but it's like some...
I think their bathrooms there are like that as well. Because, like, I mean, it kind of makes sense, especially for Boston, because, like, they have a lot of international visitors. And that's a thing that mostly gets done in, like, Europe and shit.
It should just be the norm now, even here. Like, anyone building a new building or whatever, like, just don't cheap out on the bathrooms, please. It's, like, sometimes you'll go into a bathroom and, like, it barely, like, the wall or the door, like, barely covers your knees.
Yeah, it's kind of nightmare fuel sometimes.
Anyway,
This is a gaming podcast, not a bathroom discussion podcast. But apparently, TF Green Airport does get good for that, but also, like, just in a general rule, and I'll just finish it with this real quick, because TF Green is fucking tiny. Like, it has some international flights, but this is a tiny airport compared to, like, Boston Logan, I'm assuming,
or
Miami-Dade,
yeah,
and all that shit. If you're at TF Green to take an out flight, you go upstairs. If you're here to pick someone up from an in-flight, you go downstairs, that's it. There's no way to get lost. You go upstairs for one type of flight, you go downstairs for a different type of flight. There's no getting confused. I think that might be why a lot of people like it.
I mean, that's probably, yeah, again, that's a small airport thing. Like, my mom has flown out of the one in, I think, Sarasota, And that airport is literally so small that it's just like one long hallway, and they don't even have like the little bridge things that connect to the airplane. You literally have to walk out into the tarmac and climb up one of those movable stairs.
Now that's crazy because, like, I haven't flown a lot. I barely been to, like, maybe 3 airports, and one of those was, like, because it was a taxi flight. I've never been at an airport small enough that that is a thing.
Yeah. Anyway, we were talking about GTA, not airports and bathrooms. But I just wanted to bring that up too because yeah, we watched the new trailer and it's like, how the hell is any system or computer running something like this?
Yeah, it's. I'll be curious to see how the consoles handle it, obviously, because I'm assuming they're supposed to make this game be able to run on the latest generation.
True. I mean, I remember how good Red Dead Redemption looked, and that ran on a PS4.
That ran on our computers.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
But these are much more detailed worlds.
Yeah, but maybe they also have, like, staff members that know how to... I don't know. Can you make things that look super fucking amazing and have all this, video game AI, the good kind of AI, running and doing all these calculations, but somehow be able to compress it so that it can work on maybe not our bad of computers, but lesser powerful computers than the immediately last generation of GPUs.
Well, they're gonna be targeting consoles first, so the PC version isn't even gonna come out for
probably a decade. Okay,
yeah,
so,
like who knows when the PC version's coming out.
Okay, so if we're just worrying about consoles, which are literally only going to be PlayStation and Xbox, then I guess...
It'll be optimized to run on those as probably as well as they can. We'll see. But yeah, it looks amazing visually, and...
I guess we'll just have to watch people on Twitch play it.
No, thank you.
There's some Twitch...
I just don't care about GTA story. The only reason I'm even talking about GTA is because I kind of want to explore the world.
Okay, but you're not going to be able to explore it in like a decade's time, so...
So, that's fine. I haven't explored Tears of the Kingdom, but I haven't been spoiling myself on that stuff yet either. I'm just saying, like, for me, I'm not going to be watching people play this. Like, maybe like for the first mission or two, if like some YouTuber that I like has uploaded it, but I'm not going to sit there and watch a full playthrough of a GTA crime story, because that's another thing I was going to say. Like, I could not care less about another GTA crime story.
Okay, so then if you can't play the game, you don't want to watch people play the game, and you can't stand the stories that they make, why are you excited about this trailer again?
I wouldn't say I'm excited. I just find it interesting to talk about because it's Rockstar. They make really good looking games and interesting, fun basically playgrounds, like big open worlds to just get lost in and fool around in. So in that sense, yeah, I would want to play it just to like drive around, explore, and see the side quests, maybe read the funny advertisements or listen to the radio. But like, it's like GTA 5, like driving around San Andreas, going to the airport, grabbing a plane, flying around, going through the mountains with the motorcycle or whatever. Like, playing it and being in the world is fun. Doing the story with Michael and Franklin and...
Okay, but this isn't Michael and Franklin and Trevor.
No, but I mean, have you seen the trailer? It's basically just more crime shit.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. Honestly, the trailer was mostly like club shit. So that's even less interesting than the crime.
Yeah, like the vibe of...
Like, wow, half of this is like women jiggling their asses in ways humans should not be able to move. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry, the jiggling is fucking freaky to me.
Fair enough, okay. To each their own. I don't know, I just thought it was interesting, and if like in 5-6 years actually be able to play it, I'm going to be the type of person that will want to play it, but I'm going to be gritting my teeth through any of the Force story stuff, just so I can experience the rest of the game. And I mean, that's basically what I did for GTA 5. And I guess to a lesser extent, GTA 4. GTA 4 also had like the deal where like you had that kind of that ludonarrative dissonance where like, what's his name, Miko or whatever the hell, Nico. He's like, oh, I'm just trying to be good. I'm from the other country, and I'm an immigrant here, and I just want to keep my head low and be good. And he gets caught up in all this stuff, and then like that's can be an interesting story, but then you have the thing when you're playing and controlling the person, and it's like
they make you do the bad decisions.
Yeah, and also like just because it's a game, you're gonna be like speeding and crashing into shit all the time. I wonder if you could make a hardcore mode for a GTA game.
And you can't break any laws.
You can break the laws, but like you can never lose the stars. And like when you die, you die, or when you get arrested, you're done. I would love to see if somebody could play the game like that. Well, no, you couldn't, because the game always is inevitably gonna force you to like go rob a bank or go rob a liquor store and shoot a bunch of cops, and like, I mean, that's what GTA is, so whatever. Complaining about that is like shouting at the sun, but it is an interesting thought. Like, sometimes games can be more interesting when you are not just an immortal, all-powerful being.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
GTA is that specific power fantasy, except like tuned to the side of crime and evil, I guess. So I don't know. You got to be a certain type of person to really enjoy. No, that's not right. You can enjoy these games without being crazy or evil, but like,
I fucking hope so.
It's just, I just can't bring myself to enjoy it too much, because I don't know. It's one of those things, like you often hear about like, oh, we've done a study on when people play video games like Skyrim or Fallout or Mass Effect, and most people choose the good option, right?
Yeah.
They make their character the good character, and maybe later
I don't want to hurt this NPC.
Yeah, and maybe later they'll do like, oh, I'll do the renegade route or the bad person route just to see it.
And it just feels bad the entire time you're doing it.
And yeah, and some people won't do that second playthrough of the bad character, or of like the genocide run in Undertale, for example. Like,
well, that was mostly just because it was hard as hell, but
there's some people, yeah, that will just not do that stuff, and I get it. Like, I usually don't. When I play the first time I play something, I'll play like, what I would respond to, and since I'm not an evil person, I generally try to be helpful, right, and the good person in these games. But yeah, then I'll go back and play like, okay, I want to see like what the alternative routes are, or like in Fallout New Vegas, it's like, oh, what is the most good route you can choose through there? And that's a great game because there really isn't like the most good. Like, there kind of is, I guess you could say that, like the NCR, because it's like the democratic path, but like even the NCR is kind of fucked up too. I mean, our democratic system is kind of fucked up right now too, so
yeah, so don't blame the NCR for not being perfect.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, even in games like that, like, I like that a game like that they'll give you the option to think. You're like, what is going to be the most good route? And yeah, generally the NCR route, I guess, would be. Although I think if you want to kill the least amount of people, the yes man route is probably the best way to go. But
and that's just following the robot guy, right?
Yeah, well, the robot guy is helping you, basically. Yes man, which is sort of spoilers, not too much spoilers, but there's a little robot that, like, he's kind of like the backup system in the game. If you piss off everyone else, yes man will always be there and be your yes man, so that you can still beat the game. Because unlike a lot of the Bethesda games where like some characters are just immortal and unkillable, in New Vegas you can pretty much kill anybody and piss off anybody and lock yourself out of their endings, except for yes man, because he's literally a robot who is there only to be your yes man. He will do whatever you tell him to do.
I mean, that would explain his name.
Yeah, and the really good thing about yes man too is because he will make fun of you. Well, not necessarily make fun of you, but he'll be really snarky about it. So like, for example, if like you don't want to take out the Brotherhood of Steel, who are like in their bunker, he'll be like, oh sure, if you say so, well, we'll leave them be. We'll leave this crazy fanatical cult who have access to incredibly powerful weapons, and we'll just completely ignore them. I'm sure nothing bad will come of that. It's like, I don't know, man.
Listen to me, you little shit.
New Vegas is so good. New Vegas, honestly, is probably, story-wise, the best Fallout game. But
well, it wasn't made by Bethesda, so that's probably why.
So if anyone wants to try a Fallout game and like you've never have, like New Vegas is definitely like, I think probably the one to start with.
I don't know why
Or
I
4.
start and stop that game. Well, I do that with everything, so.
Yeah. Anyway, morality in video games. I guess that was kind of a side tangent. You don't get a choice in GTA though. Unless they surprise us with this one. Maybe there will be, but I doubt it. They definitely seem to be more of the company that is like less do whatever you want, piss off whoever you want, choose your story, like in New Vegas, and more like, oh, you drove in the wrong lane, mission failed, restart.
Yeah, I mean, we do remember that Red Dead Redemption did that to some degree. And
sadly.
But I will say, like, I guess this isn't going to count for you, but I'm kind of excited to finally have a fucking female to play as.
Yeah.
So that would be an interesting take, and to see, like, are they going to write things harder for her because that's just how the world works, unfortunately? Like, is she going to get shit on for, being a woman in this, crime-ridden hellscape of Miami? Like, I don't know.
It seems to be a very... It's going to be a story about a couple, which is also interesting. You don't see that
like
a
the
lot.
Bonnie and Clyde type of thing.
Yeah. Like, a lot of the times it'll be stories where, like, oh, the main character falls in love with somebody. Or you get to choose who your love interest will be. But in this scenario, it seems like these are two characters that already... They are together. Yeah. So that could be also another interesting thing. Because I feel like there aren't too many games that do that. Like... a story about a couple, and like maybe I'm just biased because I've been with you for like almost 20 years now. It's hard to imagine, well, it's not hard to imagine, but I guess it's just nice to see stories where a married couple are doing things together. Like, so many people are married. It's like,
even if it's crime.
Yeah, but like any story in general, like there's a lot of stories where half the time when you watch any sort of fiction, it's either going to be like, oh, the romance story where they fall in love, or the will they, won't they kind of thing. And then the other half is like, this couple's already married and they're together, but they're miserable and hate each other, and let's see them like...
Yeah, that's boomer humor.
Or like, like Breaking Bad. Like, well, they're together and watch their relationship fall apart because one person's an idiot.
Yeah.
It's just...
It will be interesting to see if the relationship is toxic. Even though they're taking like the crime aspect, they're hopefully they aren't toxic to each other. Them together being loving, I guess you could say. Like, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's nice to have a couple that isn't fighting or doing stupid things between themselves. Yeah. I don't know. Does that make sense?
A story of a couple who are already together and in love and like respecting each other and overcoming trials together. And like the world being something that they both overcome together, not each other. Like, it's just nice to see, or hopefully see, more stories. Just, oh, are they gonna break up? Is this gonna bring them down? Like,
yeah, because I'm just trying to think, like, there's any of the other GTAs, like, the only relationship I can think back on is like the very beginning of GTA 3, and she turns on him. So that was useless.
And then, like, I guess Michael had his wife and kids, but they were all miserable people.
Yeah. Was It Takes Two, but I never played it, so...
No, that one... Well, that one's different. That one's like a divorce story, right? Because they were going to get divorced or something?
Yeah, but it's the only one I can think of, like, a couple.
That was an interesting question. What other games... Are there any games off the top of my head that would have couples like that? And not games where, they meet and fall in love together during...
Yeah, but, like, already established.
Yeah.
Again, that's just not a genre I tend to play anyways, so...
What, story games?
Basically.
Yeah, interesting.
I'm playing Balatro, RimWorld, simulation games. Those don't have fucking, like, relationship aspects to them. I mean, RimWorld can, but...
Well, there's no story. It's all just you make your own story in that
It's
game,
a
right?
story generator. So
But there's no
it's
like, I want to play the story mode with established characters.
no. But sometimes you can start a run with a married couple.
Sorry, now I'm just trying to think of a game that might already have a couple in it.
No, that's fair. I was trying to do that too, and I'm drawing blanks.
At least not like a couple that are like the main characters. Because, okay, I can think of one that pops in my head is like Xenogears. Technically, Kaiten has his wife, but he's not. He's like a supporting character. What other RPGs maybe? Is that really it? Surely there's more.
I mean, there probably is, just not games we've played.
I guess most people just want the power fantasy of like,
Going after someone they want.
yeah, and attracting all the babes and like you're playing Persona 5 and like look at all these girls, you can have them all. And like it's easy. All you got to do is do this mini game or repeat this thing and you'll get them. They won't ever reject you. I mean, unless you do something terrible, but like most of the time like when you're playing a game, it's not. Imagine like if you were playing Stardew Valley, right? And you're like, "Oh, I want to get with Penny this run."
Yeah.
What if there was like an RNG where Penny looks at the character creator that you made, right? And it's like, "Oh, you chose this hair. Oh, you chose this body type or whatever." And she's just like, "No, I'm not attracted to you. I'm sorry." And you're just locked out from being with Penny.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it counts as being related, but some people have argued whether it's good or bad when games like Stardew Valley or I guess Harvest Moon, well, not Harvest Moons, they don't have that option, I guess, or at least not the old ones, where is it good or bad if the NPCs are quote unquote bisexual?
Oh,
and they
playersexual.
Yeah, playersexual, they'll go with anyone,
Yeah.
or if it's better or worse that they have their own actual preferences.
Yeah, that's true. I know Mass Effect has done that with a few of the characters. So yeah, Mass Effect has done something like that where some of the characters are straight and they won't they just can't be romanced by the same sex characters, and some of the characters are gay and they can't be romanced by opposite sex characters. And as you can imagine, that also makes some people angry. Because like I remember in Mass Effect Andromeda, the lady that you start with, because you start not your main player character, but the your two first party members. I don't remember her name, but she's got that like blonde short hair with like shaved on one side and kind of like flopped on the other side.
Is this the woman who wears like a belt as like bra? Who's like covered in
No,
tattoos?
no.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter who you're talking about. What about him?
She was basically lesbian, and they made her attractive. So a lot of guy players would play the game. They'd make their guy. I guess they try to make themselves in the game or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, I can't romance this person," and they get all butthurt about that. Hey, quick note from the edit room. Cora from Mass Effect Andromeda is not lesbian. She's straight. I don't know why I got that mixed up. Anyway, back to the show. And yeah, it's that thing. It's like you're limiting what the player can do, right? Like, oh, this character is just not attracted to you. Tough luck. That's real life. But then like the other option is just player sexual, or like no matter what kind of monster you make in the character creator, whatever you pump out of that monster factory, this character will still fall in love with you and fucking lock lips and shove their tongue down this hideous blob's mouth.
Wow, you really had to go from does this NPC gay, straight, or bisexual into like they're gonna fucking tongue slather this monster.
Well, yeah, like okay, I don't know if Oblivion has any romance, but like certain character creators in certain video games, you can make literally just hideous monster people. Like this creature looks more like a sentient onion than they look like a human being. But this other character in the story will still fall in love with you, and like they have their weird ass sex scenes with this like blobby onion man. And it's funny in a way, but it is also like, this is just a weird thing to think about, but like what if you did program the game to be like, this character is only attracted to these certain features. So if you make your character with a nose that is way too big, or maybe they just hate ginger. So if you give your character red hair, you just
So we're
cannot
gonna have
romance.
racism.
Like that would be a tricky, slippery slope too. It's
Because,
like,
like, yeah,
ugh,
sure, you could have racism in D&D in the sense of, like, or Skyrim, where, like, okay, the
the Khajiit,
drow.
Dunmar.
Yeah, the, like, gray ones. They're, like,
Yeah.
super racist or something. One of the elves is fucking racist, right?
Well, the Nords are racist against like the Dunmar.
Yeah, but aren't the, like, gold elves racist
Oh
against
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
everyone?
the High Elves.
Yeah, whatever they're called.
Mm.
Like, you can have racism in there, and people probably would be like, yeah, okay, that fucking makes sense.
Yeah, like you can't romance the High Elf if
But
you are.
you can't have human on human racism, because that's just going to be, like, fucking too close to home.
Yeah, true. But even
But that's technically a characteristic. Some people are like, well, it's just my thing. I can not like gingers, and I cannot like this.
yeah, and that's
I
like
was like,
that's the interesting thing to think about as far as video games go. Like how far could people or developers push that without players getting freaked out and complaining about it? And again, rightfully so for certain things. Like it would really suck if you were playing like Fallout 4 and you made a black character and then suddenly Piper's like, no, I don't want to be with you because of that. That would be fucked up.
yeah.
But then is it also fucked up to be like, oh, I don't want to be with you because of... No, that's different though. Man,
Like,
this is getting a little spicy. I'm sorry.
I could understand, like, okay, I always love playing as Khajiit, and there's fucking
Yeah.
people that really fucking hate furries. Like, okay, there's gonna be an elf somewhere, especially because elves are kind of already dicks.
Yeah.
They're not going to want to fucking get with a Khajiit, and maybe I wouldn't want to get with an elf either, but because now I'm just thinking, like, oh, if you picked, like, a character and they're ginger or something, like, maybe this is a different discussion. Can you actually hate someone and, like, be disgusted by their hair color? That's fucking bonkers.
I don't know. I don't know how much of a joke it is, but I've definitely seen people like have, maybe it's like the ginger thing. But then like sometimes people will also be like super attracted to redheads. So
I can understand a slight attraction to a certain color or something, but at the same time I can't understand a disgust at a certain color.
Yeah, like there's also like levels to it. Like, oh, I'm just not attracted to this person versus like, oh, this person is going to make me throw up.
Yeah, I guess it's just like, because it's like, oh, I don't like someone for their hair color or something. It's just like, but you haven't met everyone with that fucking hair color. How can you say that?
Can you overcome that initial dislike, I guess? Like,
yeah,
okay.
like if their personality's perfect, then who gives a shit what their hair color is?
Like, okay, here's one, and I'm gonna put myself on the fucking microscope here, but whatever. Like, I don't really like people when they let their skins get like super bronzed, like some of the celebrities do.
Like the super tans.
Yeah, like they get like really bronzed. It just looks not real, and it gets kind of leathery. Now combine that with like super platinum bleached blonde.
Ugh.
And like that combo to me just is not attractive. Now, what if I wasn't married or whatever and I met like the girl of my dreams online and she's like the coolest, we love the same anime and the same video games and like the same politics and the same food and like we click on everything, and then we meet and she's got this leathery bronze skin and like super silvery hair. Can I get over that? Can most people get over that kind of thing? Like,
I guess, but like my feeling here is super bronze leathery skin is not natural.
no.
Super platinum hair for like 99.999% of people is not natural. You have to actively select that.
Yeah, true.
So like I feel like that's already like that would be the difference between someone who's just crazy pale and like super black hair or something, like the opposite.
But then like in these video games you can also get like unnatural selections in your character creator. Like, oh, I want to have like super pink hair. It's like I'm going to assume your character dyed their hair pink, and that's fine. But like yeah, then like if you make your shepherd or whatever have like super pink hair and like one eye is red and one eye is blue and like my lips are purple, and then like will Tolly still fall in love with you when you look like that? Yes, because she's player sexual. And
I
it's
guess
like,
I'm biased towards the idea of like player sexual is just the way to go because one, that just makes it easier.
yeah, I agree.
People can choose who they want.
Yeah.
And I don't know, even when like The Sims 1 or The Sims 2, I forget which one exactly it started with. But like all the Sims were in a way kind of just bisexual by default.
Yeah, I mean,
And that just made shit easier, man.
I agree.
Like, I'm bisexual too, or
Yeah.
pansexual, whatever you want to go with.
Well,
Like,
I'm
it's
not,
just
but like,
easier.
I guess like I would say like that would be like the path of least resistance. And I can see how some people would be a little upset of like, oh, that's gay erasure or whatever, because like, okay,
I mean,
this
bi
one
erasure is like fucking default, so whatever.
Yeah, true. So I can see how some people would be a little sad about it, but I think overall it's just the safer and easier thing to do to be player sexual.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, because, like, what else is the option? Like, well, then I'm gonna make everyone straight and you get to guess what the one gay person is. And it's
Yeah.
probably the one you aren't attracted to.
That is also interesting because in certain games like Mass Effect and their Dragon Age, their other RPG series, BioWare is one of the few companies that they do just make characters like this character is gay, this character is straight, this character is bi. And they don't wear a label, they don't wear a pin, so you have to figure that out through natural conversation.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
so
that
it-
makes it more realistic, I guess.
And it is interesting, yeah, when you're talking to somebody and you figure out, like, oh, this person is this, that means I can't be with them, but, like, that is part of the RPG process to talk to them and see what they are and who they are and what they like. So,
Like, oh boy, I can be depressed in game just as I am in real life.
like, I can see how, like, not having that and having everyone just be player sexual kind of gets rid of that aspect of things. But again, I also kind of agree that ultimately it's probably just easier and more fulfilling for more people just to make the characters player sexual. Like, then like sometimes you also have to wonder about like, I guess for lack of a better word, polyamory or like multiple partners. Because sometimes people they'll play these games and like, oh, I really like this character and I really like this character. I can't choose. I'm accidentally dating both. And like sometimes some games will be like, whatever, who cares, have fun. And then some games will be like, you chose more than one, they're going to find out, they're going to get angry. And like,
Yeah, Stardew kind of does that.
Persona 5 has a funny thing where like, I think you have to romance every girl for it to happen. But like, at the end of the game, when you normally get your scene of like, oh, your special date with the person that you're most with, if you did like all of them, they would all show up and then they'd like just, I don't know if they beat you up, but yeah, they all get pissed off at you.
I think Stardew does the same thing, but it's weird because, yeah, you have to go after every single bachelor or bachelorette
Jeez.
in order to trigger, but it only, like, you have to get every girl in order for it to trigger, or you have to get every guy for it to trigger, but you can't do, like, half and half and have it trigger.
So as long as you don't date all of them, you're okay.
Apparently. I've never tried that because I'm not attracted to all the guys or all the girls.
Yeah.
It's like
That's a
Penny,
lot of work, too.
Leah, Shane, maybe Sebastian. I don't give two shits about Elliot. I don't like Emily. I don't like Sam. Sam is like a fucking, like, kid. He's like which is weird because I think Sebastian is too, but somehow he doesn't feel as bad.
Sam. I don't remember who Sam is. Is he the jock
Sebastian? No. Sam is Sebastian's friend. He's always like trying to skateboard and shit.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, he's got the little brother. Harvey? I really fucking don't like Harvey. Like, maybe it's his mustache. Oh, there I go, I guess. I'm just not attracted to him because his mustache. I don't know. He really freaks me out.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that is also a natural thing to have, like, your preferences. But, like, these characters, because they're player sexual, they can't ever be like, ooh, you got a mustache? I don't want to date you.
But it's weird, too, because, like, okay, maybe I don't like Harvey for his mustache. I forgot if there's probably a mod that takes it off, and I'm probably still not attracted to him. But, like, there's plenty of guys in real life who have mustaches, and I'm like, yeah, I'd fuck that. So it's clearly not a just mustache thing. Elliot has his long fucking hair. I'm not attracted to that, but I've been attracted to men that have long hair in real life.
Yeah, true.
So it's like, yes, but no. I don't think I can't think of a thing other than like super bronzer or God forbid Cheeto dust all over their face. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
and that's like a very specific, they chose to do that to themselves thing.
yeah, it was just something to think about and talk about, which is what this podcast is about. Thinking about weird shit that really has no bearing on anything.
Yeah, let's talk about GTA, and it's just relationship shit the rest of the way.
I don't know. I find the idea interesting. Maybe there's that slight little troll in me that kind of wants to see someone brave enough to make a game where you make your character and you got your bachelorettes and your bachelors and you do your best, you get your 8 hearts with Sandy or whatever, and then you give her the little flower to be like, hey Sandy, why don't we be boyfriend and girlfriend? And she's just like, I am not attracted to you, I thought we were just friends. And like she just friend zones you basically.
Yeah.
And like, how pissed off would people be?
Yes, that would be
hilarious too, though, because that happens. That's real life.
No, I know, and it is interesting. Like, if you picked a specific character thing, whether it's color of your hair or your nose size, and the second you bring in, God forbid, skin tone, everyone's gonna lose their absolute fucking minds. Let's be honest.
It's
regardless of what skin tone it is.
It's just one of those things that's probably just too risky to fuck around with.
You control on the hair color, but no one's accepting the other one.
I mean, even like, okay, for a lot of these games, like weight sliders aren't a thing, but in some games, your weight does matter for certain things. Like Dragon's Dogma, the heavier you are, the more resilience you have to getting like knocked over.
Yeah.
But then, like, if you're really tiny, you can literally crawl under certain monsters. Or have more stamina to like climb.
Although if you are heavier and you do fall down, you'd probably get hurt worse.
So it's interesting when games like take that into consideration, even outside of relationship stuff. But then like bring that into relationships too. They're like, oh man, Dragon's Dogma is another really funny example of how of relationships in games, because it's become kind of a meme for Dragon's Dogma 1. For those that don't know, it's basically an open world RPG, and you can give any NPC a gift or have like relationship with them. Like, the more you talk to them, the more you interact with them, the more relationship you have with them. And the game doesn't really tell you it's like calculating this stuff. But for most people, or most RPG players, I guess, would assume that there's something there. You can like try to find the girl you like and like, you know, flirt her up and give her gifts, and she'll have the higher relationship with you. And then at the end of the game, she'll be the one that gets kidnapped and you have to save her or whatever.
Oh, Jesus.
And then like when you rescue her, she runs up to you and you hug and you kiss, right? But the game does not tell you it's doing this. So a lot of people don't even know this is happening, right? So the person they end up interacting the most with is the blacksmith, because they keep going to the blacksmith to have like, you know, their weapons made, and like, oh, I need to upgrade my weapons and I'm going to buy more armor and I'm just selling you stuff. And that's like the one NPC that they just are casually talking to the most. So it's like not much, but still their relationship points with them is adding up. And then at the end of the game's like, okay, who has the most relationship points? Oh, the blacksmith. Clearly you love the blacksmith. So there's a lot of clips on YouTube where you see some player just playing the game and they're rescuing the blacksmith, and they're just a guy. They see their male character rescue the blacksmith, and the blacksmith, who is also a guy, runs up to him. They hug and they start kissing, and they're just like, what the fuck is going on?
Like, yeah, that's a business relationship.
Oh man, it's so funny. And
I'm sure someone's made this comparison, but have you seen anyone make the comparison of like when in Bob's Burgers he goes to like buy a turkey or something, and the guy behind the counter just starts fucking flirting with him?
Oh, I don't remember that, no.
He's like, thanks, but you're not my type. I just want to buy a turkey.
Oh man, so it's like it's a little thing. I don't know if you would count that as the game trolling you, or if it's just like an overlooked mechanic that the devs didn't really think through. But
yeah, because again, it's specifically picking out flirtatious things to talk about with the blacksmith. That's a business relationship, not a romantic one.
It's so funny though, and like when a game can surprise you and with that kind of thing, I don't know if you would say for these players that the game is ruined, especially if they're like extremely homophobic or whatever. But like for everyone else, that's just hilarious. We talked a lot about random shit because of GTA, but I do have...
Wow, we went from GTA to bathrooms to airports to relationships to whether characteristics can get you to
be friend-zoned.
Be rejection.
Yeah. There's one more thing I wanted to bring up. I don't remember the guy's name, but there was a dev interview in Europe. And this is one of the guys that for Square Enix, right? Somebody in the audience had just asked something about like, oh, will Chrono Trigger ever be remade?
Oh.
And I really should have looked at what at the exact thing he said, but he made a comment, something along the lines of like, yeah, maybe soon, or we're working on it, or something like that. And then immediately the PR guy that was with him was like, oh shit, and like turned and like they had like a little whispering moment. And then they basically told the audience, you didn't hear that.
Oof.
So they like...
That's weird. Like, how does a dev not know what he can and cannot talk about?
Well, like when you're in these live moments with audiences and like somebody asks you something and you like just respond too fast, like things can slip up. So it was a slip up.
I guess, but it seems like he got talking to by the PR person or something.
I don't think he got in trouble. More so that like the PR person was just like, oh geez, we that was not supposed to happen. So...
Well, now it's out there, and the PR person trying to retract it just made it more obvious.
So, yeah, I think people are basically saying, well, this kind of confirms that Chrono Trigger is getting a remake or a remaster, and that has been something that people have been talking about.
Hopefully just a remaster, right? Because I'm sure it's one of those games that is so beloved that if you tried to change anything, people would fucking lose their shit.
See, that's the interesting thing that I wanted to talk to you about, because a lot of the comments I've seen were basically like, yeah, just do like a HD 2D thing, like what they did with Dragon Quest, or what they're doing with like Octopath Traveler. But I'm just thinking like, I don't really want that. Chrono Trigger already looks so good for a Super Nintendo game. If you're gonna spend time working on it, I'd rather them actually do something interesting. And yeah, go ahead, make it 3D. Go for it.
You sure you want that?
I'd rather do that than just have another HD 2D thing where it's just like the same sprites except a filter on it.
Well, I wasn't even thinking like a filter or something. Just the fact that like the screen resolution size needs to be updated. Is there a way to keep the sprites as they were, because they are good looking sprites, but you can just see more of the world?
You probably could do something like that. Yeah, that would again require some programming and like additional tile map stuff. But I don't know. I think I'd rather just see new visuals. The world of Chrono Trigger is so interesting, especially like the future and Zeal, especially the Dark Ages.
I guess I'm just wondering because like I know they've done remasters of what, like Final Fantasy and
Final Fantasy 7. Yeah,
the sprites just get like fucking mushed or something.
Oh, Final Fantasy pixel remasters.
I guess, yeah. Like that's one way to fuck it up.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like Final Fantasy 6, for example. To me, Final Fantasy 6 is on the Super Nintendo. It's perfect for a Super Nintendo game. It's perfect. It doesn't need to be changed. And one day they decided, oh, we're gonna remake Final Fantasy 6, and they made like the ugliest sprites for it, right?
So I can understand not wanting to like not to touch the sprites.
And then later on they did the Pixel Remaster, which the sprites there didn't look as bad as the other remake they did. But at the same time, they still look kind of different. I guess they kind of made them a bit taller just to fit the new aspect ratio of modern day screens. But I still just love the old ones more. Like, that's... And okay, granted, because I'm an old-ass man, curmudgeon, nostalgia goggles for Super Nintendo, but like I feel like if you're gonna really do something with Final Fantasy VI or Chrono Trigger, the games look good enough as they are. Doing this little pixel remaster for Final Fantasy VI, like it's not enough of a update for me to like want to bother with. I could just play the Super Nintendo one, and it looks, to me, it looks better. So yeah, in my opinion, I would rather them do something bold and crazy and be like, fuck it, we're gonna make it in 3D, and then like you could go through the Kingdom of Zeal in 3D and like look at all the little details, or the future world in ruins. Like, I don't know, man, all that stuff in 3D would be, it's either going to be really cool or it's going to be really bad. So it's a risk either way.
I mean, I guess if they did it sort of like Chrono Cross, that was 3D-ish, right?
That would be actually really interesting. I doubt they would do that, but like a PS1 style game with like 3D characters and battle system, but like high resolution 2D backgrounds.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Because at least they have like some kind of, like they've done that before, I guess.
Yeah.
So
The thing is,
they
like,
do have the ability to make it not look like shit.
I don't know if they would even bother with making something like that these days, because that was like fighting around the limitations of hardware back in the day. Like the PS1 couldn't render Final Fantasy VII or Chrono Cross, the worlds of those games. They would not be able to render those in 3D. So they had their high-powered computers render them in 3D and then just take a picture of it, right? Or make little like motion videos of it. Nowadays, computers and video game consoles can basically make the 3D environments that people would want anyways.
Yeah, so like if they remade it in 3D, does that, are you thinking of it still being like a 2D looking down at the characters?
No, I'm thinking like full 3D, like,
Oh, like fucking Skyward Sword or something? Or not?
or like Final Fantasy VII Remake, yeah.
Sure, whatever.
Like any third person sort of adventure game. But then like, you'd have your turn-based combat. And that's another thing. Are they going to keep it turn-based combat? Because apparently when they remade Final Fantasy VII, they decided no, people these days don't like turn-based combat, so we're making an action game. Are they going to do that with Chrono Trigger?
Did everyone hate that?
I think most people seem to like the combat in Final Fantasy VII Remake. Personally, for me, I never really liked the weird mechanic where, I forget what it's called. I haven't played it in forever, so forgive me. But there's like characters or enemies have their HP bar, and they also have like a stance or stamina bar, and like you can lower that second bar down to 0, and even though it's not HP, it like puts the enemies into like a stunned state, and then you can just go crazy on them for a bit, and that'll do extra damage. But like I don't know, man. I don't really like that system. I feel like it's just, I don't know, a bit overdone now. So I hope if they remake Chrono Trigger, even if they make it action, that they don't do that system, because I'm not a fan of it. But apparently most people like it. Also, I think a thing for me for Final Fantasy VII Remake especially, the combat is just way more anime than I tend to like. And what I mean by that is like I'm used to like more deliberate combat games like Monster Hunter or Dark Souls, where like you have to be careful about getting hit. Whereas in Final Fantasy VII Remake, I was playing the demo, and like we get to the Scorpion Tank boss, and Barrett's like, "Oh, be careful, watch out for its tail." And you're fighting this thing, and it has like a Gatling gun, and it's just like peppering Cloud with like 1,000,000 bullets, and it like barely does any damage. So I don't know, man. Stuff like that, I'm not a huge fan of. I'd rather my combat be a little more deliberate and like not just, I can get shot by this Gatling gun and I'm okay with like 20 pounds of lead in me as long as I drink this 7-Up or whatever the potion is.
Yeah, turn-based just seems easier.
Maybe that's a hypocritical thing to say too, because like I still enjoy games like Fallout, where like, oh, you just went through the Corvega plant and fought a bunch of raiders, and you're probably got like 10 pounds of bullets in you, but you just like have some Mirelurk meat or mole rat meat, and then you're okay.
Yeah, I mean, these games can only get so realistic.
Yeah, I know.
So it's like,
I know most people don't like the tedious stuff, but like when I play Fallout 4, for example, yeah, I will mod the game to make it more tedious on myself. Like, oh, ammo is harder to find, health packs are harder to find, so you'll have to like use bandages or visit a doctor, and like the healing is not as easy to do. So then you have to be more careful when you play. But I don't know, some people just like the power fantasy of like being shot.
Sponge.
Yeah, you could be the bullet sponge. People will complain when the enemies are bullet sponges, but when the player is a bullet sponge, it's okay.
Well, yeah, that's usually how it works.
Well, that was one hell of a discussion.
Yeah, wow, that was all over the fucking place.
And we didn't even talk about what we played.
I only played Balatro, so there's nothing to talk about.
I played SnowRunners and Terra Enigma.
So there's also nothing to talk about.
I mean, Terra Enigma is maybe getting kind of interesting a little bit.
Well, you'll have to probably play a little bit more before you can go into it further, so.
But yeah, as far as like the dungeons and stuff goes, like I guess I just don't like the combat in this game, so I find myself kind of rushing through the dungeon stuff, and I feel like that's gonna hurt me later when I'm not like leveled up properly. I did do something interesting in SnowRunners. Well,
okay, go ahead.
Well, two interesting things, and I'll be quick. One, I recorded a bit, so
Gasp.
maybe I'll actually put a video on the YouTube about that. It's gonna be like a sleepy video, because I like
Sleepy videos.
Yeah, like when I'm watching YouTube at night, I like to pick channels that are very chill, and I could just throw it on there and fall asleep to. It's so good. But I started going to, I think it's Wisconsin. Oh no, wait.
State.
Was it the Yukon in Canada?
Those are two completely different places, I think.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm going to do Wisconsin next, but I'm technically right now in the Yukon, which is like this flooded area. And it has different mission types. I guess because it's like the first set of DLC, like they're really switching things up, but normally for a lot of the game it's been like, oh, go to the factory to pick up some metal beams so you can repair the bridge or whatever, right? This place in the Yukon has been hit like with a huge flood, and there's like a ton of mud everywhere, obviously, but there's a lot of damaged houses and stuff, and I guess that there's like a town or something under construction, and it's getting canceled. So, not like that.
This whole fucking town is canceled.
So you'll be driving around this like area, and you'll see like a bunch of like houses, just like the wooden framing, right, or metal framing. And this time, when it's like, oh, we need some metal to fix this bridge, or we need some wood to fix this bridge, instead of going to a factory,
you're just taking it from the houses.
You literally go to the houses, and you're like, okay, we're just gonna take these wooden frames because they're not gonna get built anyways.
Damn.
You see the house get torn down, you put it onto your truck, and you go and use it somewhere else.
It's
interesting.
I mean, it's good because it's
weird,
like recycling.
Yeah.
But
I just found that interesting because now we have to like plan out the limited resources of like what is here in this world, and like what are we gonna do with it. And I think the Wisconsin map has a different gimmick where you have to like take generators around and like power certain things, because a lot of these games are basically like trucking after terrible natural disasters, and only like these SnowRunner and MudRunner trucks can get there to help. So yeah, the Wisconsin one will be a lot about like, we need power, so you have to like drag around generators and fuel them up and to do stuff like that.
I guess the house recycling just kind of seems, it kind of feels bad because of like current actual housing crisis, and it's like, no, please, we need to build these houses.
Yeah, but then you look at like the places where these houses are, and it's like,
I mean, yeah, it's a fucking like
middle of nowhere
tundra hellhole.
Yeah. That was another thing I did. Like, I had loaded up this big, basically Russian military vehicle because I wanted to go explore this like really, really rugged, snowy wasteland. There was like one thing I needed to go get from there, and I knew that like regular trucks are just not gonna cut it. So I loaded up this 6-wheeled APC thing onto the back of another truck, locked it down, and then drove it as far as I could with this truck just to conserve fuel. And then put the ramp down and jumped in the other thing, and then drove off with that. And it's like, I really like how this game makes you plan out things, and like, it's not just drive out there and do the thing. It's like, you gotta like take into consideration like the environment, what you're gonna take. Are you gonna take something else to take it there, or are you gonna support it with like a different fuel tanker or whatever?
maybe I don't want to think about it. Maybe I just want to go through them. But
Yeah, I mean, again, this is like a thing when you're playing games. Like, do you want the easy things where you can just be a bullet sponge and you can just chow down on a million Nuka-Colas and it won't matter how many bullets are inside of you? Or do you want to like actually plan out things? And I like planning out things in games like that. It adds an extra layer of strategy and fun to me. So I guess that's
fair.
the kind of thing that mud runners or snow runners really does a good job about. Like,
I mean, yeah, you do seem to be the person into theory crafting things. So I guess this has a similar
yeah,
inkling of.
yeah, and then like again, thinking about, oh, which truck am I going to take? Is it powerful enough? How big are the wheels? Does it have the right kind of wheels? Do I need like mud running wheels, or do I just want some off-road wheels that are better in dirt, or ones that are good for snow, or like do I need chains on it because it's icy? And yeah, I love that kind of thing. So that's probably why I have a lot of fun with this game.
Well, I'm glad you're able to find like a single game that you can put like so many hours into. I wish I could. I mean, I get that to certain extent.
I mean, yeah, you've been
but
playing Balatro a lot, and isn't that like the same thing over and over again? Or it's not like you're playing through a story.
No, there's no story. This, like, actually, you know what? If you like theory crafting, maybe you should try Balatro, just even for a little bit,
Yeah.
because there are so many different Joker types and synergies you can build up
Yeah.
that I feel that would be another way of theory crafting for you.
Yeah, I definitely do think that is a game that I would get sucked into and play a lot of, which is part of the reason I haven't played it, because I know that's like gonna be my kryptonite. So
Well,
sometimes,
you can try it on my computer, because I think I can have, like, multiple profiles on the game. And that way, like, I can deem whether you can have playtime on the computer or not.
great, it's gonna be like the old days. I gotta ask permission to play games. Oh man, what a different time that was.
But we could also, like, play together at the same time and talk about it.
Yeah, maybe we could stream
Gasp.
now that we got that other mic.
We've been saying that for years now.
Yeah, but we have like a new mic, not this one, but the other mic where
There's, like, two mics and
it's connected to one thing and like they're wireless, so
yeah, I guess.
that would make streaming a lot easier. We could also get back to like playing Suikoden to stream that maybe. Because I do want you to see what happens to Luca. Like the confrontation with Luca is really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have, like, a
refresher.
recap episode or something.
Yeah, and maybe I could like play it too, so you don't have to like do a bunch of the tedious stuff like, oh, we got to go to town to spend a bunch of money upgrading armor and weapons.
Yeah, I mean, I can do it. You just have to kind of, like, tell me what to do. We'll see.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like the fun part is the story, and unfortunately, yeah, we do have to deal with the other stuff too. Anyway, that should be good for now.
Okay, we'll see you next week.
Alrighty, bye bye.
Bye.